Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're here with Euro Truck Sim 2 Update 147, which just released exactly one day after Update 147 for American Truck Simulator, and it does bring the same features. Performance improvements at night, adaptive cruise control, but it also has an emergency brake system, which I really want to try out. So let's go on a short trip from Gijon to Burgos. It's like 300 km, maybe less than that, so it's going to be very quick, but it's enough time to try out the features, hopefully, and also take a look at the performance. It's under gameplay. Now I know where to find it right away, obviously. Finally. Okay, so smart cruise control. Tolerance 10. That should work. Oh, that's smart cruise control disabled. Adaptive 20 meters. Let's go 100 feet. And emergency brake system full detection. So if I'm running towards an object, it should also activate emergency brake system. So we finally upgraded today, monitor-wise. We're finally running Quad HD. I locked it at 60 though because I figured out, well, upon testing, it turns out I truly do not need 165 hertz for this game. It's a complete waste of GPU resources and power as well. Obviously, as it's way more demanding than 60. It's getting like 135, nowhere close to 165, but also 99% power, 320 watts, which is not great. And not only the wattage was very high, but also, the memory temperature and all that. So I decided to go back to my usual 60, and honestly, with G-Sync, it's barely a hindrance. Honestly, I do not really mind it at all. I have lower temperatures, not that much lower actually. It does turn out that Quad HD is in fact a lot more demanding than 1080p. I mean, I suppose so. It's quite obvious, especially because we're not running native Quad HD, as it's actually 400% scaling. So it's 400% off Quad HD, actually. So way more demanding. The image quality is fantastic. I mean, it's a 32-incher, so it does feel like I'm inside a truck, which is amazing. I never felt this immersed before. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, it's almost as if I'm actually in there. Anyway, let's drive this at this point. The focus here is update 147. It's not my thoughts on the monitor whatsoever. So let's focus on the task at hand, which is getting out of here alive. It's so cool though. Like, I finally feel like I'm actually driving a truck. It's kind of the vibe I get. It's stuttering though. It's feeling a little less than 60 actually. Maybe Quad HD 400% is not ideal for recording, because I'm also recording at 60 FPS, so maybe that's causing it. I'm not sure. Am I recording at 60 even? Or, oh my god, maybe I forgot to change. I guess we're gonna see once the video's out. Hopefully I remember to change it back to 60, hopefully. But something tells me I might have forgotten to change that. Oops. Hopefully not. That would be awkward. But yeah, update 147 so far looking very nice. Very, very nice. Performance is in fact way better, especially like in 1080p. I tested with American Truck yesterday before recording, and it's in fact a lot less stutter prone at night, a lot less stutter prone with traffic, and also inside cities it does behave way better now, which is great, because that was one of my biggest pet peeves with ATS and ETS. know, whenever you got in a bigger city, the frames would just kind of tank. You know, it was weird because it was not even the it's the GPU that's not being able to handle the load now. The GPU was not even 100%. I don't think it was a CPU, although it could be a CPU bottleneck in a way, as it doesn't use all the threads, so maybe it could be a CPU bottleneck. I should look closer into that, including an actual graph with all the cores, and then I could finally find out if, I mean, it's the most probable thing for sure, because, oh, does it beep when I go past the limit now? What was that? It did a beep. What was that? Is that the proximity thing? The brake sensor? Or what? That was weird. Did you guys hear that? That BBB? I never heard that before. Confused. Gotta say, I'm a little bit confused because I never heard that. I'm trying to figure out where the hell it's coming from. It might be the collision thing because I was a little bit closer to the guardrail, so maybe that triggered it. I have no idea. I guess we're gonna figure out soon. 60, lock again. And this definitely ramps up the feeling that you're actually driving a truck very personally. This, wow. It's almost as if I'm right inside the truck, bro. It's crazy. If only it were just a tad bigger, like maybe 40-inch, but that would be a TV. No other money, honestly. 40 inches is way too much for a monitor. But then again, I used to think the same about 32-inch, and it turns out it's not too bad, honestly. It's cool. And it's a very close range as well. It's like right next to my face, and it does not feel weird. Oh, did you guys see that? The truck slowed down by itself. That's amazing. I didn't do anything. You just kind of went oopsie daisy and slowed down by itself. Let's try again. Let's try and get closer to that pack and see what it does. So we're locked to 70 per hour right now. And look at that. Look at that. It's gradually adjusting to the traffic up ahead. Look, again. It's doing the same thing. Let's see if it's gonna do it again. Let's get closer to that truck and see whether. But I'm not sure if it slowed down because we're going uphill, or if it slowed down to avoid a potential collision. No, I'm not 100% sure. But it appears should be working because I have not pressed on brakes myself, so it's definitely doing something. Whether it is the collision system or not, I'm not really sure. Let's try and get closer to this truck. I'm gonna lock at 90 again. I'm gonna try and get close and personal and see whether it's gonna do something. So I think it was 30 meters, right? Or was it 20 that I said to? So we're a little far away. At one point that truck's gonna slow down. We're gonna approach it. We're gonna get real close to it. Hopefully real close to it. And then we can see this thing in action. Oh my god, it is. I'm not sure. Because obviously we're going uphill, so it's a little bit tough to judge. But it does appear to be adjusting the speed in accordance to the truck up ahead, so that we never actually get too close to it. It's gradually making sure we don't get within that. We don't go past that safe distance. It's always just ensuring that we don't break that distance. Or maybe I'm just kind of matching the speed and it's just a coincidence. It could be. We're gonna see soon enough. I mean, that truck's gonna have to stop at one point. And then we're gonna see whether it's gonna adapt to its speed or if we're gonna get closer. But so far it does appear as if we are keeping a safe distance automatically. Like I said, cruise control is on. I'm not using my feet at all. and it's just doing it by itself. This is all on the truck. The truck is doing all that work. So far, look, we seem to be maintaining the distance. Then again, it's not like the truck up ahead slowed down, so it never happened again. So we are at 90 and he's 90, so the distance is being kept. But maybe if we didn't have a speed limit, we were a little above 90, it would keep adjusting in order to keep that margin, which is nice. Okay, so maybe... oh no, it's reading. Yeah, so far we haven't really had a demonstration of whether it actually works. Apparently, if that truck makes a sudden stop, we are also going to make a sudden stop automatically, which is crazy. This is very handy, because sometimes I'm driving and like paying attention to other stuff, like, you know, thinking about life. And then the truck suddenly, you know, the truck in front of me or the car suddenly stops, and my brain is like, oh, the brakes. And sometimes it's a little bit far too late. So this simulates a Rio system, actually, that Rio trucks have. Okay, so they're slowing down now, and we should be slowing down as well. Oh my god, it's amazing. Look at that. Look at that. It's gradually adjusting to the traffic. No way. No way. This is amazing. I hated slowing down before the tolls. And now it does that automatically. Bro, that's crazy. That's actually fantastic. I love it. I love it already. Barely know it, but I love it. What the hell? That is super handy. Like, actually, super handy. Because you don't have to worry about that anymore. Worry about speed limits. If there's a truck in front of you, obviously you need that truck in front of you. If it's not in front of you, then, or a car or anything, and then he just matches the speed according to whatever's in front of you. That's epic. Actually epic. I love it. Okay, so the feature works. I didn't step brakes once, so it did all by itself with no input required whatsoever. It just kind of knew when. Wow, this is the future. And to think this is an actual thing that modern trucks do have, and it works. That's mind-blowing. And now we can have this feature as well in a sim mode, and it works just as well. Very impressed, I'm saying. Very impressed, but very happy with that as well. So that's good to know. It's actually very good to know that it's functioning as it should. And if only we had a system that would match the speed with the actual limit, that would be great. So like automatically detect the limit on the highway, on everything basically. You just automatically go to that speed, slow down to it gradually, so that you don't have to worry about. I guess that would be too easy though. But look at that. It's back on the gas by itself. It slowed down uphill, then went back on the gas. Now back on 90 per hour. That's insane. Minimum input required because I'm not using my feet right now. It's doing that for myself all the time. I like it. I truly like it. It's a very handy feature if you think about it. It can be it can be very handy for like longer trips when your feet are tired and you don't want to use your feet anymore. You just let the autopilot do it for you. The cruise control autopilot. Now we just need self-driving trucks. Then we have the peak experience. The truck just drives for you, and you just sit there and watch like a flight simulator, but fairly more glorified. This is fun. It's truly fun, I think. I can 100% enjoy this. Fun. Barely longer trip than I expected, though. Way longer than the one I did yesterday on 147 for American Truck Sim. HDR. I think this monitor does have some sort of HDR. It's not very good, but it's there. You know, works to an extent. I'm curious whether it's actually usable or if it's actually terrible. Because I watched a couple of videos and people were like, yeah, the HDR is kind of useless. It's there, but it's obviously as if it's not. I still wanted to try it out for the sake of it, you know, just to see what HDR is all about. One thing for sure though, G-Sync is mental. I'm very impressed with what G-Sync does, because I've never seen anything more like that. It's always solid, even if you get frame drops. I mean, you're gonna notice it just a little bit, but it automatically synchronizes to that refresh rate, so it's just that the moment it dips that you can notice, but after that you don't notice anymore. With my previous panel, which was just 60 Hz, whenever I got a drop from like 60 to 58, 57, you would notice the first dip, and then obviously you would notice the frame rate not matching the panel. But with this, you kind of don't notice it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Like you just get, you realize it dropped though, because it does dip. The game stutters for a microsecond, and then as soon as it does that, it automatically kind of synchronizes to that frame rate, to that low frame rate, so you don't quite feel it. It's not very choppy or anything. It's scary to an extent. I'm gonna take a while to get used to that, because I never had it before. I was used to just locking in frames to 60, and whenever it dropped from 60 it was hell. So 60 was like the gold standard for me, and I had to always stay at 60 and compromise visuals sometimes in order to always stay at 60, because any frame drops would be obviously noticeable. You just, you know, it's hard not to notice when a panel doesn't match that refresh rate. It's just an awful experience, especially with fast-paced games, so shooters, racing games especially. I had major issues with R factor. When I was trying out Quad HD 4K, the frame rates were like dipping at times, and then you would just feel awful. And it turns out it was V-Sync related. V-Sync in that game is a little bit of a mess. So ideally you don't want to use V-Sync. You just want a monitor that has a high refresh rate, and then you just kind of unlock that beast and let it roam free. And then obviously panel having more hertz than the frame rate, and you're not going to notice much if you dust it, because you got it covered. Especially because of G-Sync, so it's going to be always matching that number regardless. So that's a good thing. Pretty fascinating. I love how different it is. One of the things that I like the most so far. I know that I'm not 100% sure. Like, I do love the colors, I do love the image quality, but it does not have height adjustment. It doesn't have angle adjustment. So it's angled very weirdly. I hate how it's angled because it's like facing downwards, kind of. So you get a little bit of shadow from light, from any light source. You get a little bit of shadow from the top of the monitor on the bottom. So around bottom you kind of see the shadow from the top, which is weird. It's not like game breaking or anything. Just then again, it's just a tiny wee shadow, but it's still pretty weird that it casts a shadow on itself because it's angled so terribly. It's gonna be a while until I get used to it. I'm sure I'm gonna. Or I might just buy a Visa adapter and Visa. I'm not sure how to call it. I think it's Visa. And just a normal, not even an arm or anything, just a normal Visa mount. And adjust the height a little bit and the angle angle as well because I like it more flat rather than facing downwards. I can see why it faces downwards though, because apparently it does in that way when you're sitting down, angled, like right in front of it, sitting down. It's it's more immersive because the monitor is like towards you, so you feel kind of like you're inside a game. But it's also a little bit weird because I don't know, like if you're playing a driving sim, the cockpit's like because of the angle, it feels like you're looking kind of down instead of looking up. You know, you see, it's weird. The position, the steering wheel and stuff is just not where you would expect it to be because of the angle. So it feels kind of weird, like your fob just feels a little confusing. It's almost as if you were on your knees on top of the seat inside a vehicle. That's the impression it gives. It's like you're on your knees on top of the seat, looking outside. That's the kind of angle it gives off a little bit. And if you adjust that, if it's flat instead of angle towards you, it doesn't feel like that anymore. But other than that, so far so good. The size is pretty decent. You can see a lot of the environment. You can see a lot more of the road, the details, obviously. Driving with this a lot better as well. Because you kind of are in the game, like your whole eyesight is covered, pretty much. So there is no like gap left. When it's a smaller monitor, there's a gap. With this, there's no gap. You actually have 0 gaps. It's covering the entire eyesight, left to right. So it's way easier to immerse yourself in the game because there's nearly no gap. Obviously, we have a widescreen kind of eyesight, so you do see a little bit more to the left and to the right, which would be fixed with an ultra wide, but since it's not ultra wide, you still have that minor 50%-ish extra sight there, but it's minor, hardly noticeable. It's way more immersive than my previous 23-incher, that's for sure. It just feels way more like you're actually in there. Alright, let's park this baby boy. Alright, here we go. Oh, missed it by an inch, but if I were at 165 Hz, I wouldn't miss that. Competitive settings for your truck sim. Okay, let's park this. I'm terrible at that game, by the way. Let's see what I'm doing here. Okay, it should go a little bit more. Alright, let's try. It's probably not gonna work. Let's see. Be very patient with the input. Oop, 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 oop. Here. Oh. No, 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 no. That was going perfect, and then suddenly no more. Oh dear God. Okay, still, it's not too late, I think. I can save it still. I think. It's gonna be a little scuffed, but it's gonna work. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, never mind. I screwed it. But now it's an easy fix still. Oh, oh, oh! A bit too happy on the gas. Don't want much gas. Don't need that much gas. Honestly. Oh yeah, it's coming together. It's all coming together. Perfect. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. And it's in. Okay, we need a picture. For thumbnail. I should use... Oh, maybe I should park this first and load. See? Why is it not working? Oh, it did. Oh, what? What? That was weird. That was not what I wanted to open, but there we go. We completed it. Volvo rims delivered. As if it makes any difference whether it's a Volvo rim or whatever kind of rim. The Volvo DLC can be funny sometimes. Let's try and take a picture with Photo Studio for the thumbnail because we don't have a single picture yet. Oh wow. Okay. This looks nice. My headlights were off. I didn't notice that. Oh no, it's because it auto turns off the truck, I think. Yeah, that's a nice thumbnail, right? I mean, it's not perfect, but it does give a nice idea, I guess. Wow, it's so sharp. Jeez, I love it. Still kind of getting used to the angle, though. The angle is so weird. Sure, I'm gonna get used to it in no time, but oh dear God, it's rough. It's really rough at first, but wow, the texture. Ooh, oh yeah, this is how the game is meant to be played, bro. Glad I left 1080p. Somewhat, you can really tell like the minor details now. Crazy. It's still a little blurry though. Look at that. The 530. Yeah, I'm using ultra textures, by the way. So yeah, look at that. Am I running out of VRAM or something? Sure. Blurry as hell. The license plate's also kind of blurry, but the tires, if you get closer, you can tell the textures are also. Uh, from afar, you can hardly tell. Look at that. From this distance, perfect. But if you get way too close, PlayStation shoot. Nice. Nice. Anyway, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this short gameplay showcasing 147. Performance is great, as you could tell. The adaptive cruise control and the emergency brake system also works as advertised, as we've seen. It did the whole thing for myself on the toll gate. Uh, Perfect. I have no words. I'm 100% gonna use that. And even like when we took the intersection, it did all the slowing down by itself as well, which was great. That was unexpected. Anyway, that being said though, it's really time to go. So I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully soon. Feedback's much appreciated. Comment sections right down below, so don't be shy. Feel free to share your opinion. It's much appreciated. Y'all stay safe. Bye bye.